Hello and welcome back, everyone, to the Arcane Duels League Season 2 with 10 channeling mages across the board. I am joined again by Zot. Hello, Mr. Zot.
Hello, Mr. Puddin.
And we are watching this game between sicherheit in the upper left as the Wizard and the illustrious Shoopuff in the bottom right as the Johktari Beastmaster. So,
I'm expecting an interesting game because these are interesting competitors who build interesting books.
we got a mana shard up there, which
Mm-hmm.
broadcasts to me that she's
Layer.
going to move up there.
Yep.
Layer? Okay. See, you could have put that right here.
Probably wanted to live a little longer.
Oh, you think it's going to die? It's a layer.
Yeah, I get it, but this way it's less likely to die. Oh, whoa. Well, that's aggressive.
Yeah, that's an aggressive wizard. Dang.
Interesting.
Wizard's Tower?
No.
Gate?
Forge. Or gate.
Nah, Forge. Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. Interesting indeed.
Well, I would say
That's a surprise.
non standard.
Yes, and that would have been my expectation out of both these players. Um, I think that the wizard expected the lair play, and that's why he was super aggressive to take advantage of the um, Johktari being very low on mana right now.
Still at 11. 14.
Oh, I
For
forgot
a
the
layer.
10 channeling, but yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah, that 10 channeling, I'm not as used to it, so it does throw you off. So you actually have some extra mana as a result.
well, it's got, yeah, 2 extra mana this turn.
Well, this first deployment off of the lair is going to be telling to what to expect from the Johktari, I think.
Hmm. What is your opinion of Mana Shard?
It's interesting in that the it's a cheaper way of getting mana into the Earth School, for one. We originally had it to where it wasn't unique. Oh, it's still not unique. I thought it was. And what did he just deploy over here in the
Mana
lower
Siphon.
mana siphon? Ooh. I thought the mana siphon had to target within 2. So didn't that have to be over 1?
I think they end up fixing that later.
Okay.
And then he Mage Bades.
Yep.
So we've got a Darkfen Asp came off this
Mm-hmm.
layer. And
Yep.
an Arcane Ring. I would not have
That's
expected
interesting.
Economy to come off that Battleforge.
Correct. Because if that's the case, he could have cast the Arcane Ring and cast the Forge without double moving.
Yep. And
So,
if the wizard was going to be right here, I might
yep.
have expected like a Timberwolf and Arouse the Beast or something.
Mm-hmm. I think the Asp is there for the Hydras and the Gorgon Archer, perhaps, to reduce the amount of dice they might do.
Okay.
This would be my guess. And it's cheap. And I'm going to guess that mana siphon has to be in the zone with the wizard.
Yeah.
So, my opinion of the mana shard, I think it's interesting and it's allowed people, I see that it's very popular and it allows people to do a mana enhancement for a relatively inexpensive cost, something that generally survives most of the game. People tend to ignore them. So, it's a cheaper mana flower, but less useful because it has to be directed at a target in itself.
Right. But it's better than harmonizing because that keeps it from being a huge target, right?
Right.
So we got Witchwood Hound coming out here.
Yeah.
And more economy from the wizard.
Interesting. So those two things indicate meta / enchantments. So it looks like we're going to see a very, and the Enchanter's Wardstone coming out. So it's going to be a very probably curse focused wizard.
No, we got Magebane on the
Yep.
Beastmaster right now.
So sicherheit has gone against type by going heavy curse route from all appearances.
I mean, heavy curse is just one Magebane.
Yeah, but he's not in range. So the two
Enchanter's
rings are
Ring.
what's telling you.
Enchanter's Ring is for friendly creatures. And Arcane Ring is only meta magic or mana. So,
okay.
Well, there's the Harmonize. But meta magic nullifies meta magic, right?
Yep. All the teleports, dispels, those are all meta. But the Enchanter's Wardstone is an indication of hostile enchantment. Or enchantments on his mage that he doesn't want to lose.
Right. I mean, Mana Siphon and
Enchanter's melee
Wardstone are definitely a good combination. So I'm looking at mana denial here.
Possibly.
Is Essence Drain meta magic?
Don't remember. Maybe.
No, I don't remember
but what we could see is a buffed up melee wizard with the Forge and the Enchanter's Wardstone and the
I would
buffs.
love to see Fist of Lightning coming out. Finally, a use for the plus melee on the Lightning Ring.
Sure. Well, the Witchwood Hound, you're going to see another Witchwood Hound come out because you need at least two for them to get buffing on each other. So I would expect another Hound coming out this round. While the lair is spawning those Hounds, we're going to see the Johktari probably bulk up on its offensive abilities in order to start using
it.
Looks
like they're figuring out Mana Siphon here.
Right. Yeah. So the Wardstone will have to go in right above the current Mana Siphon, and the Mana Siphon will have to come over to where the Enchanter's Stone is. Because when he cast the Enchanter's Wardstone, he was in the zone he's in now. Yep. Boom. Oh, look at that. Okay.
All right. Now everything's technically legal.
Yep. So I would expect some more enhancements on the Johktari to start taking advantage of the range plus abilities that it has. So while the lair is spitting out creatures.
Well, he's got a meditation amulet, though.
Oh, he does? Oh, well, then he could
spawn. He might just stand there and meditate to counteract this Mana Siphon until he has enough creatures to overwhelm it.
I actually did not see the meditation amulet. Last time I looked over there, it was the plate mail.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a good choice, too. Getting a couple armor.
Absolutely. Early. Sure.
So see the wizard does the same thing. Put some armor on early.
Yep. Yep. I'm going to guess we're going to see a buffed up melee wizard, perhaps.
Well, he does have a Forge and an Enchanter's Ring, so he's probably going to be enchanting himself every turn.
Right. With a few hostile enchantments, probably.
I mean, against a Beastmaster, Circle of Lightning would be pretty good.
Yep. Absolutely. Get some damage barrier action and some random dazes and stuns. Save on some damage. How much mana does the wizard have? He has 11. Let's see. Yeah, 11. Nibble, nibble. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11. 11.
attack the Battle Forge.
Right. I would have attacked the wizard there.
Oh, here comes another enchantment.
Yep. That would probably be a ghoul rot.
Seems reasonable.
Or an enfeeble? No, it would be an enfeeble.
Enfeeble's not as effective against the Johktari.
No, I would guess ghoul rot.
There's the Circle of Lightning.
Yep, you called it.
Rolling dice. Circle of Lightning is not critical damage, but the wolf does not have the buff anymore.
Right. And he gets the daze. Okay. There's something to counteract the Mage Bane.
And there's the Ghoul Rat, just like you called.
Yep. So, that's going to be pleasant. So, the Ghoul Rot's a problem, but right now, the Iron Vine will undo a quick cast damage, and if he meditates, he's only taking 1 damage a round, which by casting his quick cast. So he's breaking even theoretically if he's only doing 1 cast per round. In which case he
could totally use 10 mana to dispel this Ghoul Rat this turn, and then meditate and not have to deal with the Mage Bane.
Yep.
Of course, you could also spend 17 mana this turn to get rid of both.
Right.
And a remove curse and get 2 mana back.
Yeah, but down here we have the mana siphon, which means he's only channeling 8 at the moment.
Yeah.
So mana is a premium. At least he's got the meditation amulet out to help offset the mana siphon. So the 10 channeling bump for the Johktari plus the meditation amulet has blunted the effectiveness of the early mana denial.
Yep.
Not surprising to see more of these hounds coming out.
I was hoping to see Timberwolves at this point.
Yeah, well,
very threatening.
They're not, but at the same time, what you have though is the early mana denials probably prevented him from playing things he would probably rather play.
I mean, in this situation though, the number of creatures you have on the board is what wins you the game as a Johktari.
Right.
If you can get a critical mass of creatures out before you're at half health, then you can spend your actions dealing with the cripples while the creatures take care of everything else.
Mm-hmm. That would be a Hawkeye, probably.
Oh
no!
Oh, it's Arcane Ward on the
Arcane
circle.
Yep. Incredibly interesting. He wants to keep that.
Which probably means he only has 1.
Probably.
But, I mean, Arcane Ward is cheaper than another Circle of Lightning.
Yep. And the days on the...
Wow, gets through the days and does max damage to the Battle Forge.
Wow, what a great roll.
Look out, your Battle Forge is weak.
And he tried for the lucky shot to 1 in 6 chance to kill the Forge outright with an Asp.
Well, I mean...
Hey, why not, right?
Can't really do anything else right now.
Right.
I guess you could go attack the Mana Siphon.
Right, because
you got a
damage barrier
chance of doing damage to that.
Right. Well, the damage barrier being unavoidable, he didn't want to attack with the Asp.
Yeah. Definitely keep that away from the wizard.
Yep.
Arcane Zap.
Yep.
Wow. That's a lot of damage.
That is a lot of damage. All that crit damage. It's a little dangerous being in the zone with all the creatures.
out with the other hound. Interesting. He does
Yeah, I
not want
think
to take
I
circle of lightning damage.
right.
I guess he feels like if he can get over here and beat down this mana siphon.
Yeah, he's probably going to be ahead at some point that if he can.
Yeah, the wizard needs to press the advantage right now. It's interesting that the wizard opted for the aggressive kill you before you gain an advantage play rather than the Johktari.
Right.
It looks like the Johktari is content to stand back and spawn creatures.
I think that the wizard looks like he was scared of the Johktari's 10 channeling.
I mean, I'd say make with the lightning bolts at this point.
Yeah.
You got 30 mana. What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to guess something the Johktari won't like.
I mean, this is a point where you Tanglevine and Wizard's Tower or something.
I'm going to guess that right there is going to be an elemental
wand. Oh, no.
wand.
Shoopuff has 30 mana. Wizard has 19.
19. Let's see. I'm going to guess an elemental wand.
That would be a pretty good one. As long as it doesn't have Acid Ball on it.
And I'm going to guess yet another of the hounds. Seems to be a theme.
More armor for the wizard.
Ooh, what is that?
There's a direwolf. Bloodthirsty.
Oh, an excellent choice. Excellent choice. That is a really good creature.
Especially when you've got the channeling to support it.
Yep.
Of course, with the mana siphon.
Right.
Don't
So
exactly have the channeling to support it.
One of the things, if you see an early mana siphon, you have to be concerned that at some point you're going to see the obelisk and the suppression orb. The obelisk that gives all creatures +1 upkeep mana cost. Right. And then the suppression orb, which means that every time they move, a non-mage creature has to take a cost you mana.
Oh, a crumble. Crumble on the meditation amulet.
That's interesting. The choosing not to move means he's not afraid of the. And he's getting set up to be able to do something about the forge and the mana siphon.
He's going to dispel the ghoul rot.
Yep.
10.
Yep.
And stay away.
Yep. He can get rid of the.
Dice. He needs to roll another one. Oh, he figured it out.
Yeah, if he can get rid of these 3, yeah, that's nice. If he can get rid of those other 2 conjurations, he's going to be sitting really good.
He doesn't even need to get rid of the ward at this point.
He doesn't, but that ward might be a problem in the long run. But you're right. He doesn't have to. And initiative.
Which hound's going to run away?
No. Probably. Well, yeah, apparently so. What would that be? That would be the Hawkeye, probably.
I mean, at this point, I think you're right. An obelisk would have been just perfect that turn.
Yep.
Because you got all these little weenie creatures out here.
Yep.
That you're either going to drain his mana so hard for the next 3 turns while they try and kill this mana siphon.
Right.
Or you're just going to obliterate them all.
Yep.
And that gives you a chance to either kill the lair or cast a big creature yourself.
How much mana or damage is on Sicherheit?
Just 1.
Just 1?
But it's enough. It's enough to get the bloodthirsty.
And on Shoopuff we have
9.
9.
Damage.
So he managed to, so far, take only 9 damage from everything. And he has a fairly good advantage at the moment. So if he can recover from that, he might do okay. But at this point, I would expect a obelisk out of the wizard. Yep. And a potential suppression orb or suppression cloak.
No, he doesn't have his forge anymore.
Right. So I'm not sure if he drops the obelisk, he's going to make the he'll just take the creatures down and start attacking it. So he has to be concerned about what those creatures are going to do to his conjuration. You got the right number of dice?
Yeah. There's another wolf in there.
Is it auto? I didn't think it autoed.
Looks like it is.
Okay, that's awesome. Go Sharky. It's an interesting game state. Who'd have thought that it would have looked like this a few rounds ago? I think
you do 24 mana. How much does obelisk cost?
12, maybe?
Is it 12 or is it 8?
That was, I could be wrong. Somewhere between 8 and 12. How's that?
See, he's running and punching instead of casting a spell, so he's keeping that Mage Bane at bay.
Right, and saving on his mana because of the siphon. He's saving a little bit.
Oh, and there comes the Hydra.
Nice. I like the Hydra. Pretty good. Ooh, I'm gonna guess.
Ooh, wow. 6 damage and a bleed.
Nice. And then the damage barrier.
Oh, that's a stun.
That could be the essence drain.
That's the right target for it.
Yep. So that's what you can do with 30 mana. Is cast a Hydra.
And it is an essence drain.
It's not meta.
Spell.
Yep.
So
the
he does
ring
get the discount.
Right. Makes sense that it's a mana spell. Yeah, it's interesting that these couple conjurations has really gotten the attention of the Johktari to where the wizards kind of run around free range wizard to do what he wants, while the Johktari has to deal with a few things that he's put out and occupying.
I don't know if he's capitalizing on it though.
Yeah, well, he's got a Hydra out now, so I think he will. He's in the zone with the lair, so he's going to start pounding on things. If he were to go after the lair, he might be able to turn this game around to where it'll be really hard for Tari to win.
Another Witchwood Hound. Man.
Mm-hmm.
There's 5 of them, isn't it?
Yep. So, does he do Call of the Wild and get some extra dice to do some attacks?
Just going to Call of the Wild the Mana Siphon, though?
Well, he'll get extra, 4 dice from his creatures attacking the Mana
Wild
Siphon?
Melee +1 or charge +1?
Melee +1.
Okay. That is a Wind Wyvern hide.
Yep.
This wizard now has 5 armor on.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's interesting.
Nullify?
Agony.
I was just wondering if the wizard put Nullify on the Hydra.
That'd been interesting.
Tangle Root.
Ooh, nice. Similar sort of concept. So it's going to get 3 1-die attacks.
Oh, he decided to use... Huh?
Still gets 1 die because it's -3 at the moment.
Yeah.
So triple strike would have been the way to go.
Looks like they're going to do it now. Not apply any of those results. So 3 damage on the wolf.
Yeah, they're going after the hound, not the wolf.
Oh, you went after the hound?
Yeah. Because the wolf is
Wolf
essence
is
strain.
essence strain on it.
Right. So at some point, the Johktari will let it go.
Or just keep paying it.
Or just keep paying it. Either way wins.
He's whittling away at it.
Yep. So at some point, you have to get rid of
the snake over to the Hydra.
Right. Yep. That's why that snake's out there for the Hydra. So it's going to get Arcane Lightning this next round.
Ooh, that's tooth and nail.
Yeah, piercing 1. Nice.
That's funny.
Yep. Now, interestingly enough, the Hydra has Counter Strike, so whenever you hit it, it hits you back, but the Tangle Root helps mute that ability.
Yeah, so he needs to pound the Hydra with everything he's got right now.
Right. Make it go away.
Because it only gets a 2-die Counter Strike.
Right. So right now, he's got an enchantment. Could even be a bear strength.
Doesn't seem very worth it.
Probably not a bear strength.
Could be a mind shield.
Could be.
Because another way to deal with the Hydra is to make it move.
Right. So one more hound, Witchwood Hound, to get the complement out. And then we might see a red claw.
That would enhance them quite sufficiently.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to guess the mana siphon will go down this round.
Yeah, now is he going to waste any time on the Wardstone or no?
I would guess no. Because maybe he is only concerned about a couple of enchantments. So he might let that go and just eat the mana cost and do it as a cost of doing business.
I could see him put on a hunting bow this turn.
How much mana has he got?
16.
Yeah. He'll probably drop another totem.
There's Red Claw now.
Nice. Okay, so you get
Did
the
you
benefit
watch this
now.
game before?
Not at all. Yep. Didn't like whatever that is.
Rhino hide.
Oh, that's an excellent choice for it. Because that's one of the drawbacks for the Gorgon Archer and the Hydra is that they only have 1 armor.
Veteran's belt for the wizard.
Not surprising.
5 armor. Yep. That'll do it.
So,
Circle
and he's
lightning
probably
harmonize.
got a nullify on.
Another snake. Oh no, the snake comes in.
Yep, and try to get a week off on that.
Does get the week.
Nice. Okay, so if he can make the Hydra 1 die all the time, that's gonna kind of wimp out that 16 mana.
And there's the dodge.
Yep. So he preloaded the Asp, expecting a Hydra at some point, or a Gorgon Archer. And now we're going to start going off, because he's got the buffs from Red Claw.
Wow. 3 crit. So he gets 1 damage through.
Yep. And the Johktari's going to have to do something about the Vet Belt. Or do something about the amount of armor there with the acid or rust or rapid dismantle, things like that. So this 5 armor vet belt with a wizard's very typical tanky wizard. At some point he'll put on the Voltaic shield and be really hard to damage.
I haven't seen him use the shield yet.
He hasn't. He wasn't expecting to get damage much from the 2 wolves that are there. Or hounds, I mean.
He's also bleeding to death right now, so maybe you should do something about that.
How many damage there's on Secret right now? Ooh, he's got quite a few now.
He's moving some creatures around to make room for his mage.
And what's the mage going to do?
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, that is crazy. Just doing a punch.
Punching the Hydra.
Yeah.
Get some good damage out.
Yeah.
Hydra hits him back for no damage.
Nice. And by not casting spells, he's not taking Mage Bane damage, really. So,
right.
So slowly, he'll regen some of that damage.
Yeah, he's stabilized at 9, pretty much.
Right. And the wizard has 10 damage on him. So he's evened it up, and the board state for the Johktari is really strong by comparison.
He's going to move the
Hydra. The reason for that is there's going to be an electrify this next round, or some other zone attack.
Or just keep it away from the direwolf.
Perhaps.
Because the direwolf has to stay here and attack the wizard.
Right. Nicely done. Finished off the 2 mana issue. So, removing a couple things out of the zone.
Yeah, Hydra's got half health.
Yeah, gonna be nickel and dime here. Now the Tingle Root will be down to 1 dissipate, so it'll be -1 on all of his attacks. He's slowly improving. Would not be surprised if another Tangle Root got put on it at some point. If they don't kill it outright.
Man, that direwolf is doing some damage.
The damage barrier's not helping it. I would expect that the veteran belt will be going away this next round.
Yeah, that's a prime crumble target.
Yep.
Only costs you a net of 2 mana. Shoopuff back to reasonable channeling, even though he's still paying for this essence drain.
Right. So that opens up some options. And he's in the zone with the mana shard. So rather than putting the mana on the lair, he has the option of putting it on his mage. Pretty useful.
Yeah, which if he's going to cast a creature doesn't matter.
Right. So I'm going to guess he's going to cast his last hound.
Maybe. He chooses to put the mana on the lair.
Yep. So
I'm going to speed this up just a little bit more.
really? Okay. The I'm going to guess that the things are looking really good here for the Johktari, but you never know. He may cast a suppression cloak and make all these attacks on his mage cost a lot of mana, which he might not be able to keep up with. How much mana does a wizard have? He has... Wow, he's got a lot of mana.
Wizard has 25, and Johktari has 9.
I'm going to guess that we're going to see... Well, if we get a zone attack out of the wizard, he's not going to cast another creature.
There's a suppression cloak.
Yep. So we're going to finish off the Hydra.
Almost there.
Yep. Got another hound still. So it's...
Yep. Now he put the wounded prey on the Hydra.
Right.
So this hound gets 5 dice.
Very nice. So does he bring out another Hydra? Or is he going to do a zone attack?
I mean, I would expect a zone attack at this point.
Yep, but he let him go.
Oh, he's going to Seeking the Spell.
Yep.
That should have cost him 4.
Yes, it should.
Oh, come on.
Don't forget you're at 5 times. Okay.
That's okay. Yeah, he only paid 2 for that.
Okay. And the pillar, which is the same thing as the... no.
And he's going to stay out of the pillar and just wait.
Right. So he's going to try to kill off some of these hounds.
That Red Claw is giving him pretty good buffs, though.
Yep. Is that another asp that he deployed a minute ago? In the what's
No,
right?
I think it's the same one.
No, to the right of the lair. What is that?
That's an asp.
That's the asp that attacked earlier. Got it.
Yeah, because he's got his 4 hounds here, 5 hounds
Hey.
out.
So he needs to get rid of the veteran's belt and the suppression cloak.
He did the pillar on the Beastmaster.
Yeah, he's gonna try to whittle him down.
Oh man.
He's gonna try stretching for the win. Because he's not gonna be able to out action. So he's gonna try to focus down the mage.
That is a 6th hound coming off of the lair.
And there goes
the suppression cloak.
Yep. So with the crumble. And how much mana has he got left? 5. He can even dispel or dissolve the Vet Belt. There's the Elemental Wand with what? A zone attack? Electrify? Yep. So there's the zone attack. So this should make, yeah, it's on the wand. So this is going to make short work of these little creatures.
Maybe they got 7 health and 2.
They do, but I mean, it's a couple rounds of zone attacks and. But yeah, he's got to get rid of the Vet Belt.
Stunned Redclaw.
Yeah. And of course, the wizard's still bleeding. How much damage is on the Johktari? It looks like 15. Okay.
19 on the Johktari,
19?
actually.
Okay. Close game.
There's the Call of the Wild.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure that was a good play. He needs to get rid of the Vet Belt.
Made the days.
Yeah.
But did almost no damage here.
Right. And with the, I mean, you still have the damage barrier on the mage. So all these attacks are not likely to do much. So he really needs to get rid of the Vet Belt or somehow reduce the amount of armor he's got. They do have Piercing 1, but it's not enough.
Yeah, the wizard's taken, I think, 2 damage so far.
Right. Meanwhile, he's dealt out how many dice from his damage barrier?
Right.
So
It's
combine that with the Electrify.
Shoopuff just doesn't have enough stuff to get rid of the damage barrier right now.
Right. That's why I said he's got to get rid of the Vet Belt. And more than likely, the wizard has another.
So is it worth it to get rid of the Vet Belt?
Absolutely, because this round, all those attacks might have done some damage.
Haven't done a little bit more, sure.
Absolutely. But with the
Wizard
Vet Belt,
is at 23 out of 32.
With the Vet Belt on, there was no reason for these guys to attack.
They're coming into a pillar and hitting a damage barrier.
Right, so they should have scattered and outweight the pillar while the Johktari gets rid of the Vet Belt. But I would guess that we'd see a second Vet Belt and possibly a second cloak, as knowing that he was going to face creatures more than likely. So he went the mana denial route. But the damage barrier combined with the Electrify, he's not going to be able to keep this swarm. And off he goes. Okay. Decided he didn't want to take the chance.
So now Dissolve can't hit him this
You
round.
sure can't. Why not? Now it can't, but it could have.
Well, Dissolve and all the creatures.
Right.
Couldn't hit him.
So what they need to do is they can double move now and get out of the pillar.
Yeah, so he's getting out of the pillar.
And that's a mistake because the wizard moves up one, force wave the entire stack back into the pillar.
No, he can't move anymore. He's fine.
No, next round.
He's going to be gone next round.
Oh, it is? Okay,
It's only got
yeah,
one
you're
dissipate left.
All right, well then, good call. So yeah, all right. So what do we got there that mana-wise that he's going to deploy there? Maybe a bird? Or another direwolf, perhaps? But,
Timberwolves? Anything.
Yeah, we could see the suppression orb go down now, where all these guys can't move. without spending mana.
I don't even know if he has it.
You might not.
He's got regrowth.
Ah, there you go.
14
That's
mana
helpful.
left. Suppression orb is what? 12?
8 mana for the
8.
suppression. Oh, I'm sorry. The cloak is 8. The orb, yeah, I think the orb is 8. There's the Timberwolf.
Hey, it's your
Aha.
favorite card.
Yes, I was really unhappy over my Mage War and so many people playing the spring. I was like, what is it with you people? You aren't supposed to be playing this card. Everybody said that card sucks.
Well, in a situation like this, it's awesome.
Well, yeah.
Because everything just got hit with a zone attack and didn't die.
And he casts another suppression cloak. What an insane value.
And the plus side is he gets an extra healing for the Mage Bane.
Because he didn't cast a spell?
Well, he cast one spell.
Right.
And then he used it to heal himself.
Right.
And now he's actually made positive progress on damage.
Yeah, but in the end, he still has to do something about the Veteran's Belt. He could probably live with the 2 mana cost to attack, but he can't do it with the Vet Belt on.
He's getting the bigger guns out, so his fewer attacks can do more damage.
Right. Yep. Meanwhile, the wizard needs to bring something else out onto the board to give him some help.
Oh, there's an elephant grass.
Right. He's going to get all of these things healed up to max before he starts advancing on the wizard while he continues to spawn creatures.
Yep. The wizard is going to have to run at him and not have enough life to deal with this.
Possibly. He's got, what is that, 21 damage on him? Wow.
23 damage on the wizard, 15 damage on the Johktari right now.
Right. Okay. Price that he's moving out of that zone.
Probably doesn't want to get hit by a
There's the archer.
zone attack.
All right.
Although all attacks against animals in that zone do -2 damage.
Right. So I think I'd have just stayed in there.
He's been paying this 2 Essence Drain for a really long time.
Yep. But it's a really good creature too. And Red Claw's still around, right? Yep. And then if he's going to spawn another Timberwolf, probably. And then at some point, he'll probably just port the mage into that zone and swarm him down. But he's still got to do something about the Veteran's Belt.
Well, as the Johktari Beastmaster, he does have fast. So he can run over there and dissolve.
Yep. Well, he's not going to dissolve with those enchantments up there because one of them's possibly a nullify.
Oh, a Bitterwood Fox. All right.
Yep. And that's another canine, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep. Interesting. I'm going to guess that the wizard's looking at this board state going, because the Johktari's not doing much, saving and banking a lot of mana for a bunch of attacks. It looks like he's making a kill zone down there too. Oh, a healing wand. Interesting. Now, Puddin, for everybody, when you cast the elemental wand, do you have to tell what hand it's in?
I don't think it's ever really been decided.
Okay. So free exchange between hands when you have things that are multi-slot. So, wow.
I believe if somebody asks you, then you have to tell them.
Okay.
And commit to something.
Okay.
Because equipment goes in slots.
Right.
But if you cast something that takes up the other slot, then I mean, there's no proving that you meant to put it somewhere else.
How much damage is on the Johktari? 9?
8.
8. Okay.
Guardian Angel.
Interesting.
So he can't get ranged attacked?
Right. I don't. I'm going to guess that the wizard's going to get ported, but at some point, how much mana does the Johktari have?
15.
Yeah. Okay. It's going to be a problem to get that ability to do much with the vet belt and suppression cloak are still super strong. Meanwhile, all this dithering around, the wizard's starting to get things onto the board. And if Shoopuff doesn't have the ability to deal with those couple things, somebody's going to concede. One side or the other is probably going to concede because there's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, they're just saying there's so much stuff on the board. They knew it was gonna be a long game, but didn't realize how long it was gonna be.
Right. I would say that the advantage still belongs to the Johktari, but it depends on what he can do about those two pieces of equipment. He could just bank a bunch of mana and prepare for multiple rounds of combat. In which case,
if the wizard had a Mordok's Obelisk, it would have been out by now.
Right.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Right.
11 non-mage creatures out there.
Right. So, yeah, I don't think he would wait this long to bait him, but yeah, if he drops a suppression orb, it's going to be.
Doesn't matter. The Johktari moves and teleports him, and then the suppression orb doesn't do anything.
That's true. Right. Oh,
but
okay.
The wizard could have more teleports, so.
Right. Ooh, he's coming over. But you still have the obscurement from the... Nope. Yep. He's obscured. Nope. Not going to happen. Yep. And if he gets close, then he's going to be subject to having his vet's belts crumbled. Or the suppression cloak, and then he can just swarm him. But he may just decide to get rid of the suppression cloak.
I think he's going to call it.
Okay. Sicherheit is calling it.
No, he wants to see if you have more dissolve and dispel. He says yes, and then I'll call it GG.
Okay, so the wizard concedes because he's going to lose the vet belt and the suppression cloak.
Right. Okay. He's going to lose that stuff. And
yep. And that's when the Johktari is going to be able to go. Because he'll need to get rid of both of those. And look at all those creatures. And I don't... Shoopuff, I'm not sure you had enough creatures in your book. Perhaps... Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
He's going to litter the battlefield with totems. That's pretty funny.
Yep. So it looks like he has 2 more Tooth and Nails, which has the effect of reducing the amount of armor that's got. So that's a really good play. So, is that a stray wood scout? It
Yep.
is. So there's another
And
+1
Taraki
attack.
and Sosruku
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
guard dogs.
Oh my god. I don't. Yeah, it's all canines all the time. So yeah,
That
that's
is
pretty interesting.
nuts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and a couple more dire wolves. Oh, very interesting. So the board state went to the Johktari, and yeah, very interesting. So he didn't capitalize on his early mana gains, and by putting more damage onto the Johktari.
Yeah, that Johktari was at 20 something damage at one point.
Mm,
If he had just thrown a few lightning bolts, it might have gone differently.
perhaps so. Yes.
Or doubled down on his mana drain and just made him pay for all those creatures.
Right. Well, that's the interesting thing. You don't know what your opponent has built. Knowing the mage is only half the battle. And it's interesting how each person has approached their build knowing what their opponent mage is. Here we have a Johktari who decided to go, I think I'll put all canines in my book.
I mean, it is a classic Johktari build.
It is, but I mean, he literally has max play sets of every canine.
It's true.
So
It's
that's
true.
interesting. Not going to lack. Does he? Is that a second red claw? Yeah,
Yep.
just in case he loses one.
Yep. And he's got Izzy in there too.
Yeah,
Just in case he needed something with Pierce 5.
right. That's hilarious. Yes, she would go over there and start wrecking face.
Pierce 5, charge +2.
Right. Wow. Really strong. So yeah, I think in the end, the Johktari wins this, given the what we see from the wizard. Very tanky build, but in the end could be messed with enough to where the swarm of creatures will eventually whittle him down and chew him up.
All right. Well, thanks for watching another game, guys. That's been the AD League, Arcane Duels League, Season 2. And that was sicherheit versus Shoopuff. I believe this is a round 2 game. So we're making progress through these games. You guys, hopefully we'll have plenty to watch in the next few weeks. Thanks for joining me, Mr. Zot.
Thank you for having me.